Patagonia, oh Patagonia, Patagonia, we love you.
And now that was a very, very tough week. But then I remembered there were tougher weeks in my life, and there were tougher months, and there were tougher years. And I've learned one thing in life, that everything will pass. Everything will pass. And that's what the beauty of life is, that you go through things, there's going to come a time, you're going to remember what happened before, you're going to laugh about it, or reflect upon it, or contemplate, or thank God you're still alive, or sometimes regret certain things, but then that's the end of the story. But everything passes, and in the darkest of moments, you start thinking, okay, how is it going to be like when it's over? This is when you start to smile, and it's a beautiful night. Somehow, it's Patagonia too. But I can tell you something, because each one of us is a little kid or a big kid deep inside and whatever. And there are moments where you can handle the whole world, but then something very small like stops you totally. And over the past few weeks, like, things were okay. I'm handling everything. This week, something big happened. Like, my daughter had something which was major. All of a sudden, she has a blood clot, and that's something big, a galta, and that's very big for a young girl, and so on. That was so scary for us. We went all over the country. We were blessed by having lots of real professional doctors in the country who helped us straight away and told us what to do. It's going to be a long process and so on, but she's a fighter by nature, and we're the same and so on. And you handle everything, and then all of a sudden, you really go crazy, go bonkers, because somebody is simply telling you a negative opinion. And I hate that. It's not about opinions. I hate it when I'm telling you, for example, by the way, you're wearing a black shoe, and you're really wearing a black shoe. And then you look at me and tell me, by the way, you're telling me this because you hate me because you don't have a black shoe. Oh my God. I'm just telling you that's a black shoe. You said you're not going to wear it. As simple as that. Everybody turns things personal, and I really hate that. How are you? It's a beautiful evening somehow, and it's Patagonia too. So how many times have I been telling you this famous thing about, like, managing expectations? We've done that a million times, right? It happens all the time, and we understand and we can handle and everything. But then sometimes it goes too far, and we feel like we're not really happy with handling things this way, because we keep worrying about everything, and it's going to take time until things settle down and so on. And I can tell you something, after a certain period of time, you become accustomed to managing expectations. It becomes part of your game. It's natural. You're not worried about it. You just handle and so on. Sometimes you just wish you see a light somehow. It's not the end of the tunnel. You want to see it in the middle of the tunnel sometimes. And it happens because you're looking for the good things. You're reading every day. Some people open the newspapers or their mobiles or the news networks, and they're looking for what's gone wrong. Ya khaba, something really bad. But then other people are looking, okay, what's positive out there? It's not being too dreamy or whatever. We're just being less dramatic. We're just looking for the good things. And when you look for the good things, they happen. The law of attraction. I don't know about it a lot, but I just understand it as simple as that. Keep thinking about the good stuff is going to happen, and you keep working for it, and you keep praying for it. And that's another very sensitive issue. Let me talk about this too, but right after the coming song, and it's still Patagonia too. And that's real sensitive stuff. This issue about, like, people thinking about prayers versus science versus whatever. It's a classical thing, classical debate, and people start thinking about that. I always go back to a beautiful book by the great Jeffrey Lang, and he wrote this book about Quran and so on, the Word of God, and he was telling you the struggle to surrender. We are struggling to surrender. We don't want to surrender to God sometimes, many times, and we think with our own very limited capabilities that we are the masters of the universe, and we're not. We're very, very small. But then sometimes people simply like involve everything in the wrong direction. Now the beauty of this book is that the guy tells you that one of the most frequently said or written words in the Quran is about thinking, about minds. Ulil albab and afala taqilun and so on. It's always about thinking, contemplating, reflecting upon things to understand how things work. This is where they really believe, and that's why there's this very famous verse which says that the people who fear God most are scientists, because they see the miracles of God. It's incredible. It's unprecedented. And that's the story. Now, I hate it when people sometimes go too aggressive in this direction, because I don't know what's the reason. I don't want to talk about intentions. Maybe it's attention seeking. Maybe it's like being so scared to the extent they go too far in challenging the will of God. But then I can tell you something. The beautiful thing, usually when you're so scared, you remember God. That's the beauty of life. And sometimes you go too far in a different direction. I'm talking too much. I'm going to stay silent right now. Put another song. It's a beautiful night, and it's Patagonia too. So I tried to do something last week. After I recorded the show and so on, I started searching the internet everywhere to find a program that can turn the audio things into a video, so I can put it on YouTube, because on YouTube I cannot put it with the songs, the show with the songs. Not so many people listen on the radio. People are used to a different lifestyle right now. And so I put some effort actually, and I made so many interludes, like short musical links between the very small pieces of music, because, for rights, intellectual rights and so on, you cannot put the full songs on YouTube and so on. So I tried my best to make it different, and I couldn't. I failed. I tried 2 or 3 or 4 applications, and I totally failed. I'm not very good with the technology, but I'm gonna try again this week. That's the beauty of life. You keep trying, even if you fail once and twice. You're gonna stand up once again, wash your face, wash your hands, open up your eyes to the world, and say, okay, let's give it another try. And somehow it's gonna work. You never lose hope. It's a beautiful night, and it's Patagonia too. And now lots and lots of people have found my secret. I love nice words. And it's not just the idea of a nice word that's telling me something nice. It's about like sharing the good things. It's like supporting each other in very difficult times by saying good things. Somebody tells you you're good. You're not as bad as you think. You're trying your best. Don't worry, things are going to be okay. I love that. And I keep thinking, when people don't do that and they come to you on purpose and tell you negative things, what do they gain from that? Nothing at all. The beauty of life is when you don't really like someone, or you don't like opinions, you just walk the other direction. Take it as simple as that. You spread hope, you spread beauty, you spread nice feelings, you spread self-confidence. You tell people you're good, you're okay the way you are. Don't bother too much. Don't try to change every second of your life. And I love that. That's not my secret anymore. Everybody knows that, I guess. And I think it's your secret too. Even people who are so aggressive sometimes, they're just waiting for a nice word. Maybe I'm going too far with this romantic approach, but maybe that's why I'm going to stop right now and play another song. It's still Patagonia too. And there are moments when you're gonna feel so weak and so vulnerable, and you don't want to fight anymore. And you need to accept that. And I go through these moments a lot, but I just keep thinking, okay, I'm gonna collect the pieces and just stand up once again and try once more. It's not easy at all, but you just keep remembering a million moments you've been in similar or even more difficult situations. Somehow you survived. Somehow you made it. How did that happen? Sometimes there's this force from heaven that really took your hand and took you out of whatever misery you're in. Sometimes it opened up in a magical moment. Sometimes somebody came over and helped you. Sometimes nothing happened, and You lost, but you didn't die. You continued once again. Am I going too far with my positive messages? I'm telling myself too, like I'm telling you right now, my son is so far away, very difficult moments. My daughter is facing a difficult illness. Everything in life is not that easy, but you keep remembering the good things. That's how we survive, guys. That's how we survive the storm. And then you think, the first thing you compare to others, second thing you remember your own life, what you've been through, and so on. And then the third thing, you're gonna do that because God has created us for beautiful things, not for anything bad. Okay, some tests, but then we're gonna, like, He's giving us also the keys to the tests. You have already the solutions, guys. We take the hard way usually, and I want you to listen to another song and enjoy that. And if it works somehow and I manage to put it on YouTube, it's not really a song, it's a very short interlude. Enjoy that too. And it definitely hurts. Sometimes you think people are so close to you, and then there comes a difficult moment and you need somebody beside you, and you just think people are so close to you, you're gonna be really the closest. And they're so far. They're not even there. And then you remember what went wrong. You were always there for them. What happened? Somehow something wrong happened. Somehow. You don't know. But then you realize sometimes people love to be around you as long as you're happy and singing and smiling and celebrating. Once you turn a little bit down or you need support, they're not there. And there's something else. People love sometimes just to be in the shadow. They don't want to see you. They don't want to be under the spotlights. And these are the scary moments usually. When people don't want to come up in the light and show you who they are, you don't feel comfortable. I've always learned to accept myself and accept others the way as they are. There's a beautiful song. He's a strange guy. He died, was a great singer, Kurt Cobain, and he had the Nirvana lead singer, and he said, "Come as you are, as you are." And that's a great song by Billy Joel also. I love you just the way you are. We don't do this a lot. Just the way you are. Don't change for anyone. I'm going to accept you. But if you don't come at all, I'm going to think you never really existed. Just be real, no matter how it is painful sometimes. And it's still Patagonia too. I'm gonna tell you goodbye right now. I've been talking too much. Enjoy life tremendously. Try as much as you can and accept failures and accept hard moments because they're gonna come great moments afterwards. You're gonna remember whatever you've been through and laugh. If you're a normal person, even if you make mistakes, you're gonna laugh at your own mistakes. Like what I do most of the time. I say lousy English sometimes and I make big mistakes. I tell you, I'm sorry guys, and I go on because the intentions are good. That's the most important thing. Maybe I already played this song today. So I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh no, oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. A beautiful night, Patagonia 2, and that was Khaled Habib.